All right, welcome to our next episode of Meet the Band. I'm here with Isabella and Aleena, two of the newest members of the School of Rock house band. So welcome and thank you for coming out with me today. Just start off with some quick introductions for each of you. So Isabella, do you want to start us off?
I'm Isabella and I play bass and keys for School of Rock.
Nice.
I'm Aleena. I sing for School of Rock.
Awesome. So I like to ask everybody to kind of give us the lore and the backstory on, like, you know, when did you first, you know, really discover like a passion for music, and when did you start playing an instrument or singing, you know, and performing? Sometimes those are two different answers. So Isabella, you want to start us?
I started playing piano when I was like really young, maybe 5 years old.
Okay.
And I picked up bass like 3 years ago. And I think between those two, the more like I practiced and got to know who I was as a musician, the more I felt like music really mattered to me, and that's just how it developed.
Awesome. How about you?
I've had a love for singing as long as I can remember, but I never really actually did anything with it until high school because there wasn't many opportunities in grade school. And yeah, from there I just took any opportunities that I could to sing more, whether it was theater, choir, and soon enough I kind of started to try to open and widen my horizons, and I'm trying to learn piano now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then we were just talking about this a little bit, but you know, we mentioned that like you didn't know the School of Rock was a thing until recently, right? And so you just came in this year, right, and made house band right out of the gate and whatnot. But you know, how has that journey been for you, and what's your impression so far?
It feels like the fastest roller coaster I've ever been on. Like there's so much that's been happening. It was like, oh, okay, hi Bella, I know you now, and oh, you do School of Rock. That's really cool. That sounds really fun. I want to do that. And so then I signed up for it, and next thing I know, my voice coach Kelsey is saying there's something we do called house band and you should audition for it. And then I auditioned for it, and I didn't think I was going to make it, and then I made it, and it's just been really exciting and something that I never thought I could ever experience, and I'm really thankful for all of it because it's super amazing.
Yeah, awesome. So you guys knew each other before then, right? Is that you go to school together? Or?
We do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how about you, Isabella? When did you get started with School of Rock?
I think it was about 1.5 years ago, and I tried music programs before, but the School of Rock community just like kind of clicked with me. It felt the best, it felt the most natural, and I think the people here are like the best that I've met in the music community.
I noticed, you know, you usually have a pretty sick retro rock tee on. You're rocking a Van Halen t-shirt today. So like, is that the kind of music you've always grown up around, or?
When I was really young, my dad would play Queensryche for me on his guitar.
Nice.
And I don't know, I think we joke that like that's where I got my music passion from, and I listen to a lot of different music, but I think I've taken after my dad in the genres of music that he listens to the most.
Do you guys find yourselves performing songs that you maybe would have never listened to before, or having to learn songs that you'd never heard of in the School of Rock?
100%.
Has it expanded your music taste?
Oh, for sure,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What's an example? Like, what's something you guys are performing that you had never heard before, but maybe you think is like a really cool song now?
Oh, I have such a wide list of these songs because I have such a deep appreciation for how many new songs School of Rock exposes me to. One that I would have never seen myself coming across, though, was Bat Country by Revenge Sevenfold.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why, but it was, at the first time I heard it, it was very intimidating.
Yeah.
But actually, I feel like singing a song versus performing a song, you grow a different perspective on a song, and it makes you appreciate it and then therefore love it more. It's a really odd process.
Yeah, I mean, metal music has kind of this, for the non-metal listeners, you know, it can seem really intense or whatnot, but like a song like Bat Country, really, when you start to dissect it, it's a pretty melodic, sort of orchestral song almost, right? How about you, Isabella?
I think for me, it's more on the poppy side. Like, at the latest show, we played 21 Pilots and Paramore, and like Aleena said, I can really appreciate it now that I've like played it and experienced it, and it gives insight to like what the creators were feeling when they wrote it.
Nice. So, you know, obviously my son's in the house band, so I'm at all your guys' shows. I see you all the time. You know, this year, one of the things that kind of blew my mind was your first show, right? The bar ran out of food an hour and a half into your set. Like there was probably over 100 people there. And, we have shows like that. The house band plays a lot, but, a lot of times there's also, 20 or 30 people there. So like, what was that like being your first performance to walk into a bar completely packed like that and to play in front of that many people? Like what was going through your mind?
I have terrible stage fright, and it's very like obvious because I'm very shy when I first get on stage. I always tell anyone around me, like, I feel like I'm going to vomit and cry or scream all at once. So it was very overwhelming to see it so packed in there. Obviously, it was like very exciting to see people were there to like support us and watch us. But at the same time, I was like, I really wish I couldn't see any of these people right now because I'm like so nervous. But it was fun.
Nice. How about you, Isabel?
I was really anxious. Like Aleena said, I felt the same way, but I feel like playing for a bigger crowd has helped me grow as a musician. My biggest weakness, I think, coming into house band was stage presence and like being physically entertaining for the crowd. And I think playing for a bigger group of people has really helped me grow in that area. Even though I'm not where I want to be quite yet, it's helping me get there.
Yes, I mean, yesterday was your fourth or fifth show. I mean, you guys are coming into your own, so you're on the right path for sure. So that kind of segues into, we're getting ready for Summerfest, right? And everybody talks about Summerfest. I know last year, when I first heard of it, it was like, oh, okay, this is a big deal, I guess. And then I went and I was like, oh yeah, no, this is a big deal, and that's why we started this whole foundation and everything. So, what are you guys most excited for about the opportunity to go play at Summerfest, and like, what are the mysteries to you about it right now?
Ooh, Summerfest has just been like this beam that I've been looking toward ever since I joined house band. It's just like you said, like everybody talks about it and it sounds like so amazing and fun. I think what I'm most excited for is because what Bella said, I think playing and singing for big crowds has done wonders for my musicianship. And I think being able to play for even more people and even like bigger group of people that I've never even met before is incredibly exciting to me. And I'm incredibly excited to see like the other shows and what other people bring. And so I think just the overall experience of getting out of our everyday life here in Nebraska to like go and experience a bunch of different music from like crazy cool people. I'm just really excited for all of it.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to like touching people with my music because that's what matters the most to me, and being able to do it with like the house band, which is like a group of people that has the same goals and the same motivation. It means a lot, and I'm really excited that I get to do it.
Nice. So I guess, everybody talks about music kind of impacting their life and, changing who you are and whatnot. One of the things that I think a lot of people, I hear this a lot from like high school band directors or choir directors, is there's a lot of a stigma sometimes that people, I won't have time for this, or I have too much other stuff going on and whatnot. Like, do you guys find yourselves, does it impact your school workload and whatnot, or do you kind of just always make time for the band, or, has that fear been assuaged by you that like, no, I have time to do this and I enjoy it and it improves my quality of life in other areas?
I've never especially felt like School of Rock prevented me from getting my schoolwork done or studying or anything. I feel like it's a very comfortable environment. So whenever I do have a test after one of our practices, I feel comfortable enough that when they're not having me sing, I can kind of like put in my like hearing protection and study until I'm needed again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think it's terribly, what's the word?
Burdensome.
Yeah. I feel like it's pretty easy to balance between my school and other activities.
Yeah, I have a lot of stress when it comes to my schoolwork, and School of Rock is like a de-stressor for me. It really helps me like cope with, oh, I have to get this done and I have to get this done, but I have this to look forward to.
That's awesome. So what advice would you give to any 8 to 12-year-old or even older who, maybe comes out to our Future of Rock Festival next month and sees you guys rocking on the stage and is like, whoa, I want to do that. But I'm scared, or I don't know what instrument to do, or I don't know where to start. What advice would you give to that young person that wants to be like you guys?
That's actually how my sister started just recently. She's on her first class with School of Rock
nice.
right now. Yeah, because she went to my first performance with School of Rock, and she was like, that's amazing, but I don't know where to start, because she didn't learn any instruments and she's never really sang before. And honestly, I think the first step is just telling your parents you're interested, because as soon as your parents know that this is something that you really care about, I feel like that's the first step in like, okay, so you're interested, where do you want to start? With my sister, the easiest way she could start was singing, because she obviously, you can sing in the car.
Don't need an instrument or anything.
Exactly. Yeah. It's easier to like kind of get into the flow of things. So yeah, I feel like just jumping right in and telling your parents, hey, this is something I'm serious about, I want to look into it. I feel like that's the best way to start.
Nice.
Yeah, honestly, just give it a try. Try it. At School of Rock, there's such a big community of people that are willing to support you and help you and make you grow, not only as a musician, but also as a person. And I feel like that can be really important when you're just starting music.
Awesome. Well, the last question I ask everybody is, what can the greater Omaha community do to help support you in house band or other teenagers in bands and aspiring musicians in the local area?
I'd say just if you hear about a show going on, go watch it. I promise you'll have fun. But even not, you don't have to stay for the entire time. Just like having you there and having people watch us and support us, like your applause means more than you know. Just your presence means the world to young musicians who are trying to have their music heard.
Yeah, I agree. For musicians, it can be like a much bigger deal if people show up and if people are entertained, and it makes you feel like good about yourself. You get to play for people and entertain them.
Awesome. Well, thank you two so much for coming out here. I can't wait to maybe get back together in the fall after Summerfest as the year is winding down and talk about, the rest of your first year in house band and how it's gone. You'll be able to see them perform this Saturday, if this is out before then, at our Road to Summerfest fundraiser show, where we look to beat our $6,000 that we raised last year to help these kids get to Milwaukee in June. And then at the first annual Future of Rock Festival coming up on May 17th, which is hopefully our way of bringing like a little piece of Summerfest to the Omaha area for the bands in this area. So thank you two so much for coming out today and chatting with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.